Tuesday. What's going? No, today is not Tuesday. God, I'm losing the days. Wednesday, I think. Well, whichever day it is. Today is going to be, I have some lumber coming from down south. Supposedly I have a loader coming to move pallets of cement, other lumber. I have a shipment of doors and windows coming that needs to be put away. I need all those tiles that were delivered yesterday moved. I need the boys working on the roof. Got a mason. I've got to work on a bathroom. Oh, God only knows what else. It'll be a fun day. I'm running down to the dock. I gotta see if I can find out when the doors and windows are gonna get delivered. No sign of the wood yet. Boys are working on roofs. Everybody's busy. There's plenty to do. So that's not even a concern. Okay, we had some visitors up at Potlatch. Cheryl, Elvis, Noah, nice seeing you. Can't wait to see what you find out about where you're going for lunch today. And our windows and doors came. The boys are finishing up another section of roof. And then this afternoon, we'll uncrate all the windows and doors, put them in probably 2 buildings.
I just wanted to touch easy on, that post that I did on Facebook about Jack's Bay and blah, blah, blah. Development. There's a lot of people who hate golf courses because of the chemicals and this, that, and the other stuff. Ruins the environment. There's been all kinds of comments. And, I get all that. I really do. But the thing of it is, when I talk to Bahamians around here, they're like, yeah, we know there's an impact, but we need work. Without getting jobs, what are we supposed to do? If we don't have any work, how are we supposed to survive? So, yeah, it'd be better if it wasn't a golf course, but if it is and there's some work that comes out of it, well, so be it. I mean, that's how they look at it and say, okay, that's way down to Jack's Bay. That area will be affected. Yes, we know that. But it's not going to be the whole entire area is affected, and meanwhile, there's some other jobs. And the other part of this is that, when people state their opinion and everything else, that's perfectly fine. But if a person buys a piece of land that's for sale, and the government has certain stipulations on that land, and they abide by all of those rules and everything else, you really can't say, oh, they should be stopped, this shouldn't happen, that shouldn't happen, because they're abiding every law that they need to. So I don't know. It's a tricky one. And what's going to happen is that development growth will happen. It's just how it happens. People mentioned, oh, there'll be no more public access to that beach. There never was public access to that beach. You had to take a roundabout route, and it's not. There is public access. If you've got a boat, you can still go to Jack's Bay. There's no beaches in the Bahamas that are restricted to that from water. You can't get to it by land necessarily, but you can always get to it by a boat. And, the other part that a lot of people don't seem to get is that they want everything pristine and beautiful when they come down here for their 2 weeks or their month or whatever. And I'm probably going to get a lot of slack on this one too. But, I live here. I see what's going on. I see the economics of the place. Who has jobs? Who doesn't? There's not a week that goes by that I don't have 2, 3, 4 guys showing up here saying, hey, you got something for me to do? Because they got no work. So it's a different thing. You go, you have your nice vacation, you want everything to stay the same when you're here, and then you go back and you work, and wherever you work, you get your paycheck, you do your thing, and you want it to be perfectly pristine, nothing's changed. Well, the people who live here all the time have to make a living. That's the reality of it. And I understand people have their certain ways they think they don't want it changed. Change is perfectly fine. How it changes, golf courses, whatever. Somebody's always going to like it. Somebody's always not going to like it. That's how it goes. There's a whole thing going on with Lighthouse Point. And I'm not going to get into that either. Because, again, if it's a private piece of property, somebody buys it. That's their right to sell it. That's their right to buy it. If they stay within the rules of the government, town planning, etc., then I don't think it's up to the general public to say, we don't like that, you can't do that. No, that's not the general public's choice. And again, I'm probably going to get a lot of flack and comments on this, but I live here, and I know the economics of here. And maybe there's a better way to do a golf course or some other thing, but until somebody steps up and does that, unfortunately, this is what's offered right now. So what's going to happen? I don't know. The last part of that is that with this is Eleuthera, people. Okay? There's been so many things that have been proposed here and never happened. There's so many things that have started and never finished. So getting all up in arms about something that might be is sort of like getting up in arms about there might be a hurricane this September. You gotta wait and see. That's my 2 cents anyway. Fire away.
So if any of you have comments or whatever,
I don't mind discussion. I just want it to be, intelligent, not based on your feelings or everything else. Take the whole picture and think about the whole thing, not just yourselves, the environment, the people here, the economy. It's one of those deals that people come and say, and I've been guilty of this myself at times, oh, they shouldn't take the small conks. That's easy to say. We all have food and a way to make a living and everything else, but suppose the person who's taking these small conks, that's all they've got to do. Can you really blame them? They're trying to make a living, trying to survive, trying to feed their families. So just think about before you say any comments about any of that stuff, the whole picture.